Hi, I'm David and welcome back to BrenTeck IT Support. Today we're going to be looking at a quick unboxing and setup of the new Lazy Spa hot tub and a Bluetooth light to float inside it, as the new one doesn't come with built-in lights, but it does come with a Wi-Fi hot tub. So we will get on with the unboxing of this. Before you start setting up your Lazy Spa, it's best to use the floor padding that you can get separately. This is an extra that we got with our previous one, and it's much thicker and more substantial than the bubble wrap base that they come with, and it's going to improve insulation and also help prevent any punctures from the ground. Before you do anything, make sure your patio is clean, or if you're on a grass, make sure again that's all raked. Make sure there's no stones or thorns or anything that's going to puncture the bottom or that you're going to step on in barefoot. Now, you may or may not get it within this larger box. If you do, you might find that you can't get to pick it up because you've got the handholds covered. So this box actually isn't a full box. You can just lift it straight up, as it's not actually attached to the bottom at all. So if you are going to pick them up, be very careful, as this could actually drop out, but it's unlikely. And that can just be chucked to the side. Now, before I open this, I'm going to lay this down flat so that we've got a nice safe surface to work on. Okay, we've got a drain here which we'll have behind the outlets of our Lazy Spa. So we're going to try and line up things with that to start off with. Once you've got your base down, give it a quick wipe down to make sure you haven't got any grit or stones or anything that you might have carried onto it whilst laying it down, and then we can start setting up the hot tub. I love the way they always put warnings about don't stand on this, because it's a big box so people might stand on it. Obviously don't do that, and also don't use knives to open these boxes. How are you going to cut through the sellotape on these boxes? You're going to use box cutters. No one has them, so just do it very carefully. Hopefully there should be other things protecting it, but do be very, very careful when opening up the tape holding it all together. Right from the top, we then got some warranty information, our owner's manual, a sheet of extras, safety instructions. That's nice, a repair kit if it bursts, because it's only got one liner on this one rather than outer lining, which the old one had. Then we have that looks like that's probably going to be the lid. That's probably the lid cover. And then we will go for opening the box and taking out its contents. Again, be very careful with these ones. We have the tub unit, the actual body of it. And so we're now left with the pump. Nice chunky power cable with RCD built in. Filter. Now, last time we used sponge filters, so we'll probably be replacing that with sponge filters later on, as we found they were easier to wash and reuse, although you can just dispose of these ones and buy these in larger packs. Got your inflator hose. There are handles down the side. inflator and de-inflator attachments. Filter housing. And at the bottom, you've got a chemical pot where you open it up. And you can put some of your chemicals like bromine or chlorine. I'd recommend bromine for a hot tub or spa, as it is a longer lasting chemical that's less irritating and works better in higher temperatures. So I'll be getting some bromine tablets for that. That's it for the box, so we can get that out of the way. If you want to keep it to try and pack it back in, you're more than welcome to, but probably getting it back in will be very difficult, so unfortunately that's probably just going to go into the recycling. Okay, whilst we're setting these things up, the first thing you probably want to do is get the filter ready, just so it's out of the way and it stays that bit cleaner. So you get your filter housing, unscrew it, open up, and that's nice. We actually find they've actually got two of them. So you can just find them clean to put that away until you're ready to replace your current filter. Now these filters can be cleaned and reused, but it is a lot of effort to do that, and you can only reuse them a certain amount of times, as they are just paper or a fabric, and they do clog up and start deteriorating. So the sponge ones I do like. So I will be using these for now until I wait for my new sponges to be ordered, as after 3 years the sponges have finally deteriorated. So next we want to get these out of the way so we can set this up and use the pump. Now you can't have electrics right next to it, so the length of this cable may not be long enough for getting to your house. Now you can't use an extension lead, as obviously this is going to be a high amperage unit, and you have to have a decent main cable, such as a proper installed spur, not a standard extension lead. So you may need to consult an electrician to get a outdoor safe plug wired up to take this. We've already got one down the alleyway, which we've shown in our previous video for the Lazy Spa Paris, so you can have a look at that, but we will plug that in a minute, because we need to use this to inflate the main tub and the bladder of the lid. Okay, so we just need to open up our hot tub itself. Obviously you want to be incredibly careful of not stabbing this, as any hole will make it leak and the whole thing then be useless. Now I want to take the cover off of here. And put this off to the side. This should come with a little square to put this on top of, so I'll have a look for that, as obviously I haven't found it whilst taking it out. So we'll find that later on and then place this on top of our little square felt. Now we've got to orientate this to where the pump is. This is very different to our old one, whereas we didn't have any of these tubes sticking out of it previously, so it will have a little bit more slack and adjustment, hopefully, to get it all to fit. We need to get our bung in here. Now this, we're going to inflate it, so we will need to be prepared to change these around. Make sure you've got the rubber seal in there, as I know that can come out. And get that up nice and tight. And then you can undo this to get your hose in for inflating. Now you just want to plug this into the mains. Okay, you're going to want to test your RCD by pressing the power button. You should hear it beep, then you press the test, and that will turn it off as it's tripped the RCD. Then you can press the reset button, and that will power it on, and you're good to go. You'll hear the pump chime in and turn on and activate, you'll see the screen light up, and we'll talk about this in a minute. Okay, what we need to do is get our hose, make sure that we've got the rubber in here, because they can come loose, so make sure you've got the seal there. Put it up against there and tighten this up. And this doesn't have to be too tight, as it is only just for the air. It's just got to be finger tight. There you go. And then you can take your hose, undo the little door in the seal that you just put in. And you've got to push this into there quite firmly. And now you've got to turn it on by pressing and hold the power button and press the bubble button. And you'll hear it kick in, and this should take about 5 minutes. Stay with it, watch it until it is nice and firm. It won't overinflate as it has airflow out here. Okay, that looks good enough. Press and hold the unlock button. Press the bubbles. That looks good enough, so you can now take that out and it automatically seals, but then you just tie in, you then just screw in the bung to make sure. That is quite nice and firm. Might be able to go a little bit harder as I see some wrinkles in here, but we can do that after we fill it with water. But to stop the bubbles, what I have to do is press and hold the lock unlock button for about 3 seconds till the lock light came off, and then it was able to activate this so you don't accidentally touch the panel. So now we can unscrew, now we need to do the lid, which is going to be the same thing. Just plug this into the lid and inflate the lid after we put it inside its jacket. So we'll now move over to do that. What we want to do is get the bladder jacket and bladder. And it's easier to start off by unfolding this and getting the bladder ready to put in. I'm going to peel off the clip protectors so we can clip the lid in place inside out. Now you can unfold the bladder and pop it inside the little skirt. And we can now use the hose to inflate the bladder. Again, press and hold the lock and unlock button for 4 seconds and press the bubbles. Once you're happy with how full that is, you can just plug the hole back in. Now, once you've attached a pump, you can detach the pump to reinflate things as air gets lost, because air will come out of it no matter what. Nothing's perfectly airtight when it comes to this sort of material, so it will slowly deflate, but don't worry about that. We can come back to that later on. Now you need to take this off. Get this out of the way, keep the summer nice and clean. Okay, we do have some differences between this one, which is the Miami, and our old one, which is the Paris, which is we now have an inner line of bubbles and an outer line, which is what this channel is here for. So we now get foot bubbles as well as back bubbles, and it's a more powerful pump with the Wi-Fi. So we've lost internal lights, but gained extra bubbles, more powerful pump, and frost protect and Wi-Fi. We've also now got a drain plug in here to letting out the water, which actually has a solid plastic channel, which comes out to that extra plastic bar we saw on the outside when we were unpacking it. Now, this is our filter, which has already got the filter in, and we want this one at the bottom, so we take this rubber bung off And this is how we will also prevent water from coming out when we remove the air pump to reinflate things, by just reattaching these rubber bungs. So we take those out for now and just screw this on. Once we've got our chemicals, we just open this up, wiggle it out, put our chemicals in there to dispense, and then just lock that up. And you can then set to how much dispensing you want. Turn it to the minus for lower amounts, turn it to trying to unlock it, which gives you a larger dispensing, but we'll put the chemicals in that later on. And that just goes on there like so. And so I'll bring the camera around so you can see how to plumb it in. Okay, so now we can take off our hose, which we used for inflating, just by undoing that. And put that somewhere away. Now we want to try and line these hoses up, or these inlets with these outlets. And so obviously don't fill up the hot tub yet. As we've got a drain here, we also want to try and get our drain plug as close to the possible as the drain. So I may be moving this to get everything to line up. Okay, that looks like that's probably roughly where we're going to want it. So what I'll do now is I'll just take these covers off. And remove the seal for the bubbles. I'll bring the pump a little bit closer. And then bring this closer. And as we line them up, we just want to screw these together. None of these need to be done up too tight, just do them up by hand. If you do see water come out of them, you can always just snug them up a little bit tighter. That'll do. So just double check to make sure you've got this lined up so it's completely on your foam base. And when you've done that, you can start filling this with water. Whilst it's filling, we will then demonstrate the setup of the Wi-Fi and heating at the same time. Okay, to set up the Wi-Fi, we're going to want to come to the Google Play Store or the Android or the Apple App Store and come to the My Lazy Spa app and download and install that. And once we've installed the Lazy Spa app, we can open it. And it's going to want our permission for some reason for locations. It might be so you can track where you are and turn the hot tub off when you're out, perhaps. But we'll say OK to that. Now we haven't got an account, so we won't click sign in, but we will click get started. And we'll have to enter in our details. It finds our address for us automatically. We'll sign up to their offer. And then just click next. Now we need to find the SSID. So we're going to connect it to our 2G network, as it'll be better range for outside, and also it might only be a 2G network device. And click connect. Click next. Yes, we have our Wi-Fi light flashing. So it's got a default password for this. And we find the best way Lazy Spa Wi-Fi and connect to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then click connect. It's now authenticating. The Wi-Fi light's gone stable, so that is now connected. Do make sure you connect it to a 2G network. Okay, it's now finished updating or downloading an update or something. I'll put a note at the bottom of the screen on how long it actually took But now we've got the ability to adjust the temperature that you want, if you want it in Fahrenheit or centigrade, when to turn on and off the air jets. And then we've got a whole scheduling system that we can do here as well, different times of day. So yeah, that's all that set up. I'm not going to set any schedules now. And I'm not going to start heating it because it's not got any water in. Once we've got the water in, I will do that. But that looks like that can be it. And so we can then control this when we're out and on our way home. So we can have it ready to go if we've gone away. We'll now start filling up and getting that part ready. Okay, whilst we've got it filling up with water, we will have a look at the thermal cover, which we got as an extra. We'll try and provide a link for this as well in the description below, but this one might be more hard to get hold of as they weren't readily available. So we just pop the box open and get rid of that. And that's nice that it comes with a vacuum seal bag with a clip to seal it down, so you can pack it away in when you have finished. But obviously, if you are going to pack away, make sure it's perfectly dry when you do. And just unroll your thermal blanket. Now it does look like there's an inside and outside edge. The dark side I think is going to be the outside, which will be the waterproof layer. Now you'll have to work out where your door is. The idea of this door is that you can then keep the pump attached and still use it. So you want to unclip this, zip open your door. You can leave that bit still on and slide that over where the pump is. And that does go over very, very easily because this is slightly too big for this hot tub as it is designed for another one. And then just clip that underneath to keep it down. So what I might do is get a ratchet strap or something if I know we're going to be leaving out during bad weather, just to stop this from lifting up and blowing off. But that should help insulate it. They say it saves 50% on your energy bill for heating these. I seriously doubt it's going to be a 50% saving. I reckon it's probably going to be about 25 is what a lot of the reviews have said. But this will help protect the whole hot tub as it's an extra layer from UV damage, and it insulates the whole thing, not just top, it insulates the sides as well. So this should really help keep some of the heat in overnight or when you're away. And there's just a closer look at how it goes around the pipes with the clip just under there. So you can take the whole door off if you want to, or you can leave it attached. I'm going to experiment and see how I find it goes. I'm probably going to leave it attached, but I might take it off in the end. Just a quick look at the display. You've got your lock, unlock button, power button, Fahrenheit, centigrade button, temperature up, temperature down, Wi-Fi. Now it's solid, that means it's connected. Flow cycle water, so that will filter it and clean the water. Bubbles and heat, and then you've got a timer mode on there. When filling up the tub, I would avoid filling it over the minimum line, as if you're going to plan on putting 6 people in the tub, that line, as you put the bodies in, will rise and displace the water. So if you filled it up to the max, you're likely to overtop and overfill the Lazy Spa. So use the min as a guideline from past experiences with our old Lazy Spa hot tub. Okay, now we've got the level of the water high enough to go over those. We can either unlock it from here and then press the heat, and that will start circulating it. And so you can now see it's taking in water from the bottom through the filter and ejecting it out of the chlorinator or the chemical disperser, and it will start heating the hot tub up to our target of 35. Now we can adjust the target from the screen as well. The current temperature is 20, so we've got a fair bit to do to get this up to temperature. But we can turn the jets on from the app. That actually looks very nice. And again, off from the app, or we can do it from the touch screen. Now we can turn the heater off but still have the water circulate. So you've got your temperature control up at the top for heating and filter down here. Now if you turn the filter off, it'll also turn the heater off as well. Now this means that you can do it from indoors and get it ready. If you've gone away for the weekend and you want to come back to it ready hot, you can start warming it up before you leave from where you are to come home, and you can come home to a nice warm hot tub, assuming it hasn't dropped too much overnight, which is why we've got that thermal blanket. Okay, here we have the wireless Bluetooth light speaker to go inside the Lazy Spa. It's quite a cheap one from Amazon, it's not a particularly bad price. So just open it up quickly. It comes with the unit, got your speaker at the top, buttons, charge port and a rubber base, instructions and a charge cable, and that is it. It does have a built-in microphone. So to charge it, all it needs to do is connect it to a USB charger, just standard USB port, and then you've got your round plug, and you can just plug it in there and that will start charging. You need to charge it before its first use. But once you've done that, you can power it on by using the play button. And that should now be, you probably can't see the lights in the daylight, so at night I'll show that in the hot tub. And if you just get the phone and you just pair it like you would do any normal Bluetooth device. Okay, the light button changes the flash pattern of the lights. So you can cycle through those again, I'll show that in the video. I don't know how well sealed the charging port's going to be for water ingress, but we'll have to find that out in due course. To put it in pair mode, you press and hold the play button for 3 seconds and look for BT601 in your Bluetooth list. It wants access to your contacts so it can do the phone calls and things. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to make phone calls whilst I'm in the hot tub. Okay, it tells you the battery percentage of it, but we'll now listen to the quality of the music. Okay, I've got some music from YouTube sample music that we're playing. Just for a little speak in the hot tub, that's not too bad. Don't know how it's going to be over the sound of the pump. I'll pause it on the speaker. So yeah, cute little speaker. It's not exactly an amazing disco speaker. It's just about an inch-sized cone, but just have some music playing in the background whilst you're relaxing in the hot tub. Pretty good. We have our Bluetooth light speaker playing. And we can see that it actually can be dumped in the water. I don't know if it's meant to be submerged, but we'll give it a go. Certainly does seem to be waterproof. I wouldn't suggest dunking it, I just thought I'd give that a try. And can we hear over our bubbles? Here over the bubbles. But this is a lovely feeling. It's lovely and warm, the bubbles are so relaxing. The bubbles are so nice and relaxing. It's about the same as powerful as the Lazy Spa pads that we had previously, but we're getting a larger amount of bubbles. But it sounds like the pressure is about the sort of same. And it's great, it's lovely and warm, and this is going to be a great way to relax and enjoy your smart garden. We do hope you liked the video. If so, please do give it a good thumbs up, like, comment and subscribe. If you want to get yourself your Lazy Spa, there'll be a link for it in the description down below, and all the accessories will be there as well. So you can get the lights, the hot tub, the trunk that we've got outside, the thermal cover. Well, that's it for now. Take care, as always. Bye for now. And here we can see the full effect of a tranquil, smart garden.